this morning. This is our launch event for the health cluster within Horizon Europe. We will present some projects that are initiated by our panelists that will present here. And I will present myself. I'm Odelia Malka, working at Argentum as Chief of Strategy.
Odelia, just a remark we see from the participants that the quality of the sound is quite low.
I'm sorry. Now I understand why. I'm sorry, I'll do that again. So thank you for joining again. We are talking about the health cluster within Horizon Europe. My name is Odelia Malka. I work as Chief of Strategy at Argentum Consultant. We have a lot of content to transmit in this meeting, so we will try to be focused and short. I'll shortly present Argentum Consultant. I'll present myself. I'll introduce Horizon Europe. Then we will drill down to the health cluster. I'll present a bit our approach regarding consortium establishment. I'll present the targeted topics and call we have selected within the cluster. Then I will let our three panelists present their initiated project, and hopefully we will have some time for a presentation of the attendees and Q&A regarding consortium building, because this is actually the main goal of this meeting. Next slide. Yeah. So I'm part of Argentum. Argentum is part of Freemind Group. Freemind Group is an expert in non-dilutive funding. Argentum is focused on European innovation funding and consortium application. We are divided in several departments. We are targeting cross-industry success, and we have awarded a lot of money until now. We have established a network that includes a lot of types of entities over the year, while the main goal would be to bridge between industry, research, and authorities, meaning first, second, and third sector, bringing all together for successful project implementation. We are working all over Europe, and we are located in Israel, which is one of the associated countries to Horizon. Regarding consortium, we have developed our own methodology over the year. Based on our network, on our clients, we are working with a lot of different entities, and we are building a project, bringing them from the development stage to design, experimentation, demonstration, implementation, validation, but also commercialization of a certain product. What else can I say about our methodology is that what we are doing when we accompany a project, we are helping out with the conceptualization of the project, expanding an idea of a certain scientific or technological idea or dream, and we are accompanying this idea through the industrial stages of advancement, or the TRL advancement, and we are bringing together the different partners to meet and create something together. This is what we love to do. So regarding Horizon Europe, as you know, Horizon Europe is the 7-year program after Horizon 2020 for 2021 to 2027. The allocated budget for the whole Horizon Europe is 96 billion euro. Horizon Europe is divided in 3 pillars. We are focusing today on the second pillar, that is targeting global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. In this second pillar, 53 billion euros are allocated. Within the second pillar, the calls are divided in six clusters, which are the topics. The first cluster is the health cluster, which will be focusing today. For the health cluster, 7.7 billion euro are allocated and includes dozens or hundreds of calls. Currently, the calls are not officially published, but you have all already seen on the internet the latest draft of the calls that for 2021 and 2022. So we have screened those calls. We have selected several calls. The criteria of selection are based on our clients, the panelists that will present today, and also our experience regarding chances of success for those calls. So the calls we have selected will be focused on the following topics, which is digital solution, AI solution, machine learning, database decision driven tools, diagnostics and monitoring, oncology will be the main topic today, RNA-based therapy, cell therapy, mental health and well-being. Those are the selected topics. And aligned to these topics, those are the selected calls we have chosen from the whole course. So you will see here in this table, I have highlighted 4 of those calls because those calls will be the one that will be presented more deeply today. And you can see for each call what is the type of the call. When I say when it's RNA, it's research and innovation action, which are more early stage research program. And in contrary, there are IA program, which are more industrial market-driven calls. You can see the allocated budget per project and the total budget allocated for this call. And they are all for submission by the end of September. I would like you to know that all of these companies and entities are here in this event. So I believe that we have a great potential for partnership and consortium building. I would like now to present our first panelist. I will let Professor Dr. Michal Rotem, head of the Center of Melanoma and Cancer Immunotherapy, Department of Oncology at Hadassah, Jerusalem, Israel, to present with Professor Rotem Karmi, Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology of the Faculty of Medicine at the Hebrew University. So both of them will present their initiated project that is aligned with the following call, that is targeting next generation advanced therapies to treat highly prevalent and high burden disease with unmet need. This call is a 6 million call with 10 projects to be selected, while the total budget is 60 million euro. With this scope of budget, we believe that the consortium should count at least 12 to 15 participants. We have screened the requests of the call. We have already selected what are the expertise we need for this call. This is what Michal and Rotem will present, and those are the requests. You will receive the presentation after the call, so you don't have to read all of this right now. So Michal and Rotem, please, up to you.
Odelia, I would prefer that Professor Rotem Karmi will speak first.
Okay, do so.
All right, thank you. So maybe before we see any drawing or data, I would just have to say that all of us in the scientific world and the medical world have experienced a revolution in RNA therapeutics in the past decade. All of us noticed that we were all vaccinated, or most of us were vaccinated by mRNA vaccination, which So maybe we can move to the slide that gene silencing, which you might heard about drugs that are already approved and drugs on the way. There is a big wave of lipid lowering drugs, which are based on antisense oligonucleotides and siRNA from different companies. I think some of them are present in this audience, which are seem to be very, very effective based on the end of 3 big clinical trials which were published last year. And probably most of them will be approved. There are already drugs which are approved for siRNA therapeutics for rare diseases and also for antisense oligos. Vaccination, I don't have to present here because everyone knows about it already. And of course, some part of the CRISPR technology is based, of course, on guide RNAs. And basically, all these molecules are synthetic molecules that can be manufactured, are modified, so they have modification that, and this happened in the past 2 decades, the development of efficient molecules that can really target genes, intervene in splicing, intervene in gene silencing. And of course, what is still missing and a still big gap is to use these technologies toward inhibition of cancer or cancer therapies. And this is what Michal and myself are targeting in this call. And of course, cancer is a very prevalent disease. Maybe we can just say one word on the next slide. And what we are targeting, the molecules that we are targeting, are many types of molecules. This could be, of course, the messenger RNA if you want to silence it, the pre-messenger RNA when we modified alternative splicing and changed the splicing. We can target non-coding RNAs, translation. So there are many ways of inhibiting cancer. And I think what Michal will tell us is how we can use, or at least use some of these, also to enhance immunotherapy, which is the main cause of our joint consortium. So I think we can move to Michal.
So Rotem, thank you for the introduction and thank you for joining me. Professor Rotem Karni is from the Department of Biochemistry at the Faculty of Medicine at the Hebrew University, and I am an oncologist. I'm the head of the Melanoma and Cancer Immunotherapy Center in Hadassah University Hospital, and also the head of the Hadassah Cancer Research Institute. And individually, I'm an immunotherapist. And our consortium will be named RNA-based anti-cancer therapy, emphasis on RNA, and the work packages which will surely evolve to fit the potential participants will be, and I put first new immune checkpoint therapy target discovery, because I feel that where we look for right now is where the eye sees, but transcripts and alternative splicing are a gold mine for additional targets. We are very much concerned with new ways of thinking how to solve immunotherapy-related toxicities. So far, we have corticosteroids, we have monoclonal antibodies and capture reagents, but we feel that the short half-life of RNA-based therapies can be a real virtue in this field. Of course, cell therapies, so RNA-based molecular engineering for cell therapy will be at least for the stage of proof of concept, and for short-lived therapies when quick intervention is required and toxicity is need to be avoided. Cancer vaccines, and of course, cancer microenvironment modifications, and toxicities and adversities of our modalities are another whole work package that will be part of our consortium. It is very succinct what I'm presenting. Cancer immunotherapy is a rapidly growing field, and the RNA should have a major role in that. The expertise we are looking for are, of course, people proficient in cancer immunotherapy, RNA splicing and alternative splicing, RNA structural biology, customized vaccines, RNA stability and delivery, T-cell engineering and T-cell factory and production, regulation, commercialization of RNA-based products. So this is Professor Carney and my own call, RNA-based cancer therapy.
Thank you very much, Rotem and Michal. First of all, I would like to thank Rotem for introducing the call with the mentioning of the COVID crisis, because I would like to say that all the calls have been formulated with a special focus on the vulnerabilities and the potential that has been raised by the pandemic crisis. And so the link has been very well set within this call. So thank you for that. Secondly, I would say that, as Michal said, it is quite succinct what they presented, because I've asked to make it short and to make it as open for collaboration as possible. So this is the purpose, and of course you will receive a lot more detail as soon as you'll join, and you will be able to present it more deeply. So I would like now to present the second call we will target. The second call will target clinical validation of artificial intelligence solution for treatment and care. This call will be presented by Dr. Shai Rosenberg, also from the Hadassah Cancer Research Institute. I will present shortly about the call. Again, it's a call targeting a project of 6 million euro. Again, 10 projects to be selected. Same submission deadline. We are targeting AI solution in the healthcare context. What else? I think now I will give Shai the opportunity to present himself and his ambition.
Hi, thanks, Odelia. Thank you very much. I am Shai Rosenberg. I am a clinician researcher in Hadassah Hebrew University Medical Center, and I am part of the Hadassah Cancer Research Institute that Professor Rotem presented. My clinical practice is neuro-oncology in the Department of Oncology. And I head the Laboratory for Computational Biology of Cancer, where we practice computational biology and artificial intelligence for precision medicine in cancer. I also had the computational medicine in oncology, where we apply digital solution for patients or for treatment and the clinical decision support system. And we have also a program in the Hebrew University named Sagol Program for dual degree of MD and bachelor degree in computer science. This is a very challenging program, but we already are now in the third year, and we have 47 students learning in our university faculty for this. I would like to present the project that I want you to consider joining. I will present it very generally, because of course it's very open to new ideas. So it's just the general scheme. The precision medicine in cancer in general was proved to be very successful. There are some very successful examples, like BRAF inhibitors in melanoma and EGFR inhibitors in lung cancer. And of course, immunotherapy. This general approach was proved by a meta-analysis published in JCO in 2015 to be the general approach of precision medicine by DNA was proved to be more successful and efficient than general treatment of chemotherapy. However, only minority of patients benefit from such precision medicine using DNA biomarkers. And this is because, first of all, only around 50% of the patients have a mutation target for biological or immunological therapy in general. And more importantly, if you measure the efficacy of the treatment that was prescribed to patients, even in very stringent, rigorous studies, it's around between 4 to 11%. And this is because we don't have enough targets, and we don't have good biomarkers to predict that given the patients have a specific mutation, if he will respond to this therapy. And this is where RNA, again, like Professor Lotem and Professor Karni, but from a very different angle of view, RNA comes to the play. RNA reflects a very functional, another dimension of the biological data and functional data. And measuring of RNA can help us to understand which pathways and which systems are active in a given tumor and to prescribe drugs to it. And moreover, it's not only theoretical, it was also a clinical study, clinical trial that was published in 2019 by Professor Azel Kurzrock in Nature Medicine, named Winter Trial, showed that using RNA information to patients really expand the armamentum that can be applied to patients, and they showed also the efficacy of this approach. However, the current use of RNA is very heuristic. We don't know exactly how to measure, how to analyze this data to optimize the treatment for patients. And it was not proven markedly from the clinical point of view. And this is where our general idea comes. We would like to use, and I have some preliminary results from my laboratory, we would like to use machine learning or deep learning, actually, to train model using the transcriptome data, of course, with the DNA data and the clinical measure, but mostly using the RNA data, which is a very large data. We have more than 2,000 probes or genes per patient. And we want to not only to train the samples, that the cohort that we have, but we want to use for this AI also prior biological knowledge that comes through, that is coded through systems biology and other sources of information in order to enhance the training and make it more in more biological context. This is one thing that seems to me very important. Moreover, most of the RNA applications are heuristic and are pan-cancer. So this Winter trial was trained or was used to many tumor types. And I think that especially for RNA, which is quite, the profile of RNA is quite tumor specific, if we can train, we can use the training that we already did in the laboratory or other training type, but we can combine it into training of very specific cohorts of patients, which I call tumor drug. For example, we take all the patients with lung cancer and EGFR inhibitor, specific EGFR inhibitor, and train model for this specific question on a large cohort of questions. If we identify several such questions and develop an accurate tool to train such models, then we can have very specific models and tools. The expertise that I think is requested, this is not full. I open, of course, to many new ideas. Is first of all the knowledge, the discipline of systems biology as applied to cancer, deep learning, which I do myself in my laboratory, but I will be very happy to I think, collaboration in this. I don't hear. Okay, I will continue.
Yeah.
We need large patient cohorts with availability of frozen sample for RNA-seq. Pharmaceutical companies that are interested to accompany such an analysis to their clinical trials of specific tumors and specific drug, RNA-seq. Sites to do this clinical trial, we can validate those, we can develop this retrospective information, but test it in clinical trials prospectively. And of course, as written in the call, cost effectiveness assessment, socioeconomic and gender assessment, and very important to train such algorithms that they will be fair and unbiased. So with this, I will conclude, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Shai. This is a very ambitious project, and I'm looking forward to take part in this. As Shai explained, what was important is that each panelist present his ambition and also open up for a list of expertise he think that might be needed in this project. However, after this meeting, you will all be invited to formulate by yourself your potential contribution to the project, so that we will screen your contribution and maybe give some more ideas to our initiators. Now I want to give our third panelist to the microphone. The SYNLAB Group is our third panelist. SYNLAB Group is an international medical diagnostic provider with laboratory services for human and veterinary medicine, as well as environmental analysis. The SYNLAB International is here represented by Santiago Valor, the Group Chief Medical Officer, and Ayman Kadra, Deputy Group CIO and Head of IT Strategy, Governance and Lease System. Those two representants have selected two calls within the health cluster. The first of them is data-driven decision support tools for better health and care delivery and policy making, a 10 million euro budget that you will receive all information about them, also dealing with AI. The second call they have targeted are towards a molecular and neurological understanding of mental health and mental illness for the benefit of citizens and patients. Now I will give Santiago and Ayman the opportunity to present their activity and their ambition and why they think they should apply to this call, and how the potential participant can be part of this ambition.
Thank you very much, Odelia, for the introduction. First of all, good morning, everybody. Thanks also to Argentum team and Odelia for arranging this event. Before we go into these calls, we wish to present SYNLAB. What is SYNLAB? Maybe to understand where we're coming from and what are our capabilities. So as Odelia said, we are a European #1, the medical diagnostic service provider. We are acting in 4 different continents. The biggest ones is Europe and Latin America. So we have about 450 laboratories worldwide, and we have a big network of medical experts in the company, about 1,200 medical experts. These are laboratory doctors, but also pathologists and geneticers. We conduct yearly about 500 million laboratory tests. And as you might imagine, these are data that we want to leverage using artificial intelligence for these two calls that has been presented by Odelia. Okay, next slide, please.
Sorry, yeah.
Now I hand over to Santiago to present the next slides.
just a couple of comments from my side. Thank you very much for the invitation, the opportunity. Our mission is to provide actionable diagnostic information for healthy lives and well-being for all. And for a long time, we've been mainly focused in diagnosis. So at the end, laboratory tests have been mainly used for diagnosis with a limited support in prognosis and follow-up of treatment and therapy. But we are moving very, very fast to prevention. Is I would say is the focus of the diagnostic test as of today is mainly primary prevention, so understanding the predisposition of individuals to a disease, and secondary prevention, so that means early diagnosis of diseases. If you move please to the next slide, just to support our vision based in the worldwide quality, medical excellence, and reliability, innovation is a must. Innovation is not just for us new tests, it's also based in knowledge, expertise, advice, and technology, but mainly partnership and business models, different business models with our partners, and supporting those healthcare professionals and healthcare institutions. Based on that, if you please move to the next one, let me just spend 2 minutes. Well, it's not exactly this slide, but anyway, yeah, it was well. Can you move please to the previous one? It's just to emphasize that when we talk about innovation, and these 2 slides, it was just one of that with some charts and comments from our last ESG report 2020. It's just to emphasize how important for SYNLAB is education and research. Here is just a snapshot of the hundreds of programs from the executive development to medical continuous education, how that education is important for SYNLAB. Top right, you have just a number of publications, research publications coming from SYNLAB every year. As you can see, research production at SYNLAB is really relevant, so we are not newcomers to research. And if you move to the next slide, please, just let me emphasize that SYNLAB is, let's say, usual partner in many research activities. For example, in EIT Health, where we are a partner, associate partner of the organization, and SYNLAB has an internal awards and grants programs where we invest money, a lot of money every year, in supporting internal projects, and also award our scientists. This is just the list of the awarded 2020 SYNLAB scientists according to the excellence and impact of their publications. So that only is to present you that for SYNLAB is not we are not just a commercial organization. We are really involved in research and education. We spend money in some of our partnerships with for example, with the NHS. We have specific budgets to support research in that partnership. Now we can move, Ayman, if you want, to the 2 projects. Sorry.
Thank you, Santiago. Thanks, Santiago. As Santiago mentioned, our strategy is basically to get more into prevention, and basically also to precise and to personalize medical diagnostics. So, on one hand, for patients, to help them during their illness and during their treatments, but also for clinicians doing their daily work, either during treatment of patients, but also during prescriptions, but also to all citizens. Even we want to target citizens and consumers who are maybe not ill, but want basically to monitor their health and improve the quality of their life and well-being. So the first call is the ambition of this call to indicate cancer before even it starts and develops. Being a diagnostics company, we have basically about 5,000 different diagnostics tests that we conduct. And we strongly believe that cancer can be indicated or can be diagnosed before a tumor develops. So therefore, this called data-driven decision support tools for better healthcare delivery and policy. The why question we want to address is how to improve or to the quality of life by prevention of cancer through very early diagnosis. And I'm emphasizing very early diagnosis. The approach we have is basically to personalize the clinical indication of primary and secondary prevention diagnostic tests to detect very early the cancer disease using data of laboratory, but also clinical data. An example of that is colorectal cancer that can be basically targeted. The expertise we request in here, besides having hospital and clinical expertise, maybe also pharmaceutical data, but also companies and partners who are experienced in data-driven innovations, and they have expertise in health, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So Santiago, do you want to add something to it?
Just the idea of that project is to move from population-based secondary prevention to individualized secondary prevention, where we understand that clinical data, artificial intelligence, and diagnostic tests can provide a better understanding and an early diagnosis of cancer. Only that.
Thank you, Santiago. Next one. So the next call, the ambition is to understand the factors that influence basically mental health and improve basically the life and well-being, the happiness of individuals and the citizens. And therefore the call towards a molecular and neurological understanding of mental health and mental illness for the benefit of citizens and people and patients. So the why question is to improve basically the quality of life by understanding and improving the conditions that influence mental health and well-being. How we want to approach that? We want to approach by developing biomarkers in molecular biology, genetics, epigenetics, and also to identify scores of lifestyle, environment, society that influence or impact the mental health, and identify basically also on genetically predisposed people, how this could be impacting their loneliness, or how loneliness and with genetic predisposal, how this could impact their mental life or their happiness. So the expertise in here, similar like the other call, we need expertise from hospital and clinical data, but also from psychological and neuroendocrinological expertise, data-driven innovation, and also Healthy Eye will be very helpful in supporting us in this journey. Didier, you are on mute.
Sorry, yeah. Thank you, Santiago. Thank you, Ayman. Our head is full with the ideas. I will just say also regarding this expertise requested in the consortium building, that for each project, the thinking would be to establish the value chain of the project. We are talking about early projects, so we don't expect any commercialization strategy to be established for the next 2 years, but we will establish a certain value chain that will bring the idea from the R&D stage through implementation, and in most of those cases to the pharmaceutical industry. We will include also end users. This will these are the principle that will make the consortium strong. So now that we have discussed a lot and we have a lot of ideas and hopefully also dreams in our heads, like for example, by the end of September, no cancer anymore. But a part of this dream, I will bring us back to Earth. There is a timeline. We will work according to this timeline. So now we are here at this lunch event. After this event, you will all receive an email. All of you that are interested to take part in this initiatives, this would be the second stage, highlighted in green. We will work on the conceptualization because each of the partner that will provide and bring to the project his own idea, the concept will work together and get bigger until we get a full concept and we get a full consortium. Ideally, I want by the beginning of June to set a kickoff meeting with the consortium partner, and then at Argentum, we have a fully dedicated team of consultants that are specialized also in this field that will work on the proposal preparation. So they will ask from the partners to, they will gather information, materials, and they will begin to work to write the proposal, establish with you the work plan and the budget. Some of you may ask who will be the coordinator, how does that work? I would say that this is a question that is less important for me because we will set who will be the best coordinator for each project. Regarding Hadassah has already announced that they have the operational capacity to coordinate those projects. Therefore, Hadassah will definitely be the coordinator of the two initiated project. However, in the case of other projects, we will decide maybe a university that will join will want to take the coordination position, and that's not a problem. We will find who will be the best coordinator. Of course, SYNLAB can also be a coordinator, but this is not the question that should lead our work and our efforts today. So then we will have about 2-3 months to work on the proposal so that we have the last weeks for proofreading, design, review until submission. According to the European Commission, if everything works out as set, the evaluation results should be received by the beginning of 22 and hopefully be selected for funding, and we will all meet for a kickoff for the project. I would like to bring us even more down to earth. Argentine consultants, I don't believe in unrewarded work, so we do have a business model. We offer a service, we offer commitment, we offer 3 departments that will work on establishing all the steps I defined. In the other side, we insist on having a commitment of the side of the partners joining the consortium. Therefore, we have a certain agreement with each of the partner joining the consortium, and our business model is based on an upfront fee and a success fee, but everything is open for negotiation. Now, I would like to give the opportunity with the left time we have for the attendees also to ask questions or to react to what has been presented. So we will take questions from the chat. And Ahava Eitan, who wants to bring out the questions, and then the panelists or me can answer. Okay, so I was told that there were 2 questions in the Q&A, and they were already answered by us. So if that's all, maybe if you have any more questions, you can add them in the Q&A boxes. If not, we will answer all your questions by email after the meeting. Ava, should I wait for other questions?
I think that we will be sending a follow-up email to everyone who attended in any case. And you're welcome to get in touch with us that way. And if there are any questions, maybe we'll wait a minute or two and see if anyone would like to ask anything specific, maybe ask our panelists. And then we could sign off.
Okay.
There are 3 questions I'm seeing now in the Q&A 4 already. Just we answer these.
Okay. Okay, great. So let's do that. I'll turn on my video. Hi, everyone. My name is Ava. Some of you have been in touch with me on the email. I am the marketing executive for Argentum. So I'll ask Ayman, the first question is for you. Would you consider also other types of cancer like breast cancer following your presentation? I think you're muted. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, of course, we are not limited only to colorectal cancer. So basically just an example, and where we think we need to identify, first of all, biomarkers that identifies very early stage the cancer as such. I'm not a doctor, therefore, and I'm not a medical expert though, but I believe that different types of cancers have maybe different how to say, scores and different biomarkers. And the question is how to identify that, which biomarkers, and how can machine learning help us for identification and classifying these biomarkers to identify certain type of cancer. So we are not limited only to colorectal cancer. It could be also breast cancer. It could be prostatic cancer. Depends how our journey look like in our search. Well, Santiago, maybe you want to add something to it?
Just let me add. We've just mentioned colorectal cancer because we have some experience in working with very basic tools in trying to add AI prioritization of patients to go for screening is something we already did with colorectal cancer. But of course, the idea can be used for any other type of the most common cancers. And as I said, we are moving from population-based secondary prevention to individualized secondary prevention. And we, in our experience, what we've done with 3 basic tools, that is artificial intelligence, test results, and clinical data, has given us very, very good preliminary results.
I'll take the next question because it regards the palliative care call. We have selected also this call because we have already received interest in this call from a certain researcher, but we didn't receive an interest that was willing to lead a project. We have received interest, but not a leading idea or leading project. Therefore, it was not represented here. But if you have a specific interest or a leading idea for this call, please let us know.
Thank you,
yeah.
I will read the next question. Evangelos asked a question: in the project for diagnostics, what kind of data modalities are you looking at? Text, images, what else? And he says the diagnosis of cancer, to clarify.
Yeah, what we are looking for is mainly first, laboratory test results. That is what we've been using, but of course we can provide that information in a detailed way in a follow-up conversation, and mainly clinical data. We are not so much focused for the moment in image, mainly because we are not experts in imaging. So mainly those two: test results, routine test results, and clinical data.
Thank you very much, Santiago.
Yeah, maybe I wish to add something to it. Santiago basically put it rightly. And the area of radiology, the imaging, that is basically indicating the cancer in a stage where it has started to develop. So our ambition is basically to find ways indicating it with testing diagnostics. Yeah, that's what our ambition is.
Thank you, Ayman, for that addition. Hillary is asking, are all of the projects cancer related?
Currently, most of them, but not all of them. The last call presented by SYNLAB was not cancer related, but yeah, it seems that 3 of them were cancer related.
Yeah, the second call we have from SYNLAB, it is about mental health. It's not related to cancer. Correct.
Correct. I'll also say that any of the panelists who have a reply for some of the questions, feel free to answer. Okay, Tanya is asking what exactly is expected in terms of project proposal submissions from potential partners. This is for you, Odelia. Do we send it to the coordinators or to Argentum?
Okay.
Hold on, just one more addition. She's asking another question from Tanya. Was a specific tumor type decided on for the first mRNA-based call?
So
that maybe is.
I will not be able to answer the second call, the second question, but Michal will. For the first question regarding the working process, I don't totally understand. It's a proposal of 45 pages. If this was the question, the Argentum will work as a coordinator during the proposal preparation. Even though Hadassah or any other entity will be the coordinator. We will bring together the information from all the partners. A consultant from our side will be in direct contact with each of the partner, will initiate meetings when needed, and will prepare the proposal, send a draft to the partner to be edited. This will be the work. So all the partners will be in contact with the coordinator, but mainly with the Argentum that is taking the most of the work there. And Michal, do you want to address the second question?
Yeah, thank you. I do. So we will talk separately to the partners in the consortium about the different work packages and shape them together with each participant according to their preferences. And as for cancer type, no, this is not limited. And in issues, for example, if we'll opt to do neoantigen vaccination based on RNA technologies, it will be focused, let's say, on neoantigens and not on particular cancer checkpoint inhibitors, toxicity. So it will be a general cancer and not cancer specific.
Thank you, Michal. I have a question from Bertrand. I hope I'm reading that correctly. Are you already using Immunoscore for colorectal cancer? Bertrand, so sorry. Are you already using Immunoscore for colorectal cancer? That's for the Hadassah team.
No, I think it's Ayman.
So, yeah. No,
For Ayman?
I can take that. It's not as a routine reporting.
Okay.
Let me see.
The next question is for us. I just remember that I have talked with Andreas Weinhäusel, but I don't remember which entity it is, I'm sorry. But yes, of course, we can arrange bilateral meetings to discuss specific input and project tasks. Please, to make our work a bit easier, after the meeting, we will send a certain specific question that we'll put together. Then we will build up the puzzle. So please play the game, address the questions, and then for additional meeting, we will set them after.
Thank you, Odelia. I have a question for SynLab. Both projects sound extremely interesting. Have you considered how you will address the data protection, social and ethical impact of the data-driven clinical tools?
We have discussed this point because we are aware that for each of the call we will need several types of assessment regarding AI project, definitely also ethical assessment. We have discussed this with Shai this morning. But if there is a trilateral research, I don't know you, but if this is what you provide, we will definitely be interested to you to join. But Ayman, you wanted to say something.
No, of course, these questions are valid, absolutely. During the course of the call, we will address it appropriately. When we are going to work with data, for sure, we will try to encrypt or anonymize it, so that no data protection violations are there. And in regards of ethical impact, for sure, it will be foreseen or will be assessed as Odelia said.
Perfect.
Thank you, Ayman. I have a follow-up question that I think we pretty much have replied to in the last questions, but in the last answers. Sava is asking, is there a role for MedTech IT engineering partners that do implementations of data science needs, digital prototyping, or other types of digital implementations?
I'm sorry, I just did something else because I saw that there are attendees that raised hands, so I gave them the possibility to talk. So I'm sorry, can you read again the question?
Sure. Sava is asking, is there a role for MedTech IT engineering partners that do implementations of data science needs, digital prototyping, or other types of digital implementations?
Well, the reason I didn't understand is that I don't understand totally the question. There was a reason. So I'm sorry, if one of the panelists is able to address.
I can do, basically, of course, my question will be, of course, because as we have explained in the call, we need basically expertise in the area of health AI, machine learning, data science. So if these capabilities and expertise are available, please just address it and we will look at it.
Yes, for my proposal, I fully agree. This is you can develop even the technical part. You can develop a very sophisticated algorithm, but to spread it and to use it in clinical centers, you need the technical capability that are beyond research. So it's very important.
Very good. So just to explain, when you will react to the email you will receive, you will specify your contribution, and then we'll make a first selection and go to the concept leader of each project. And then Shai, Michal, Rotem, Ayman, Santiago will be able to revise those contributions and select the most interesting for the project. And then we will establish the contact. So as it was here, you proposed a certain contribution. I'm not able to understand everything because I'm not in the field, but I'll be able to make the puzzle with the concept leader. So this is how we will work.
Thank you, Odelia. I do want to address, someone asked a question regarding our business model and the division of the budget. That's something that's discussed over time and as the project is consolidated. And of course, any specific questions regarding the business model and specific payments, you're welcome to contact me. I will write my email in the chat. And Odelia, do you want to address
I'll just explain the idea. The idea here is that we bring this consortium together, we give a certain service. We ask for a certain upfront fee that can be fixed or can be a very small amount in accordance to the budget expected or the contribution expected. And this upfront is kind of a commitment of the partner and is covering part of the cost for the service we are giving. The second part of the payment is a payment where we share risk with the partner, and we will receive this payment only if the project is successful, and this is based on a success fee, on a percentage of the contribution to be received by the European Commission. So this is the model. Of course, we will do a personal agreement with each partner because we are aware that each partner will not target the same scope of budget or the same slice of budget in the project. It will depend on the importance of the joining of the partner. We have fees, but definitely we will not be an obstacle for the success of the project.
Thank you, Odelia, for addressing that. And I just sent my email in the chat. Whoever wants to ask more specific questions is welcome to email me. Okay, the next question from Ritter. What is the weight of industrial partners in this kind of call? Are you interested in SMEs involved in biomarkers development, especially focused on RNA biomarkers in oncology, pancreatic cancer, and having expertise in developing CDX diagnostics as well as in machine learning?
Yes, yes, and yes. Definitely. In several of the projects that were presented today, we are interested. And again, what is really important in the methodology we want to bring here is to bridge the worlds, to bridge between industry and research, between technology, making it happen. I know that a lot of consortium are counting only researchers and universities. They are bringing some very innovative ideas, but for this idea to be implemented and to take it to the next level of advancement in terms of TRL, we definitely want SMEs and large industry to take part in the project. And the biomarker development, especially in oncology, are definitely relevant to the projects.
Thank you, Odelia. Hillary is asking, Metabolomic Diagnostics is an SME based in Ireland. While not in the cancer field, we are specialized in the development of novel biomarker-based diagnostic solutions for complex diseases. The company has developed an effective pipeline to firstly identify diagnostic biomarker panels using mass spec and translating these panels into clinical assays. Okay, just in case our expertise can contribute effectively to any of the projects. Would anyone like to address the specific expertise for Hillary?
I address it. I think that in AI and machine learning, many types of data can help and improve the model. So I would be, although metabolomic is not my research field, as an AI expert, I would be very interested to consider this as part of the model. So yes.
Of course, we will also. We've been working with some other companies for the last, let's say, 3 years. We've not got I would say, the results that we expected at the beginning. But of course, we will really interested in metabolomics, yes.
Thank you, Shai and Santiago. Hillary, you're welcome to send me an email if you'd like. I just sent it in the chat, as I said. And in any case, I'll remind everyone we will be sending a follow-up email, so you'll be able to get in touch with us. I have a question from Vladimir to Ayman and Santiago. For the mental health call, you stated hospital for clinical data as primary requested expertise. Does it mean the proposal will include a clinical study, including patients and not citizens, quote unquote, presumably initially healthy and with focus on prevention?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So we have also run some pilots with some specialized hospital centers in the past, and we of course need to work both with citizens and with already identified mental illness patients. Yes, sure.
Okay, good. I see there are no more questions, but there were 2 hands raised, and I gave them the possibility to talk. Do you want to express yourself? It was Larissa Sexton. Maybe she's not. Okay, well, I'm not so good at
Odelia, she's muted. Perhaps.
Okay. I will try to ask to unmute. Does it work like this? Okay, I've promoted you to panelist. Does that work? Larissa, can you unmute yourself?
Odelia, I think perhaps she's not with us. I don't know, but I do see another question in the Q&A, so maybe we'll address that, and maybe Larissa will join us. So we have another question from David. He's asking, what are the main mental illnesses that we'll be focusing on?
As I said before, we have some previous experience in several different mental illnesses, but for us, the main target is depression. So that if you ask me for a very specific answer, depression is the first one.
Thank you, Santiago. Should we give another try, Larissa? Okay. I think that's it for the questions, Odelia, that we currently have.
Okay, so we're definitely on time. Very good. So thank you again, all of you. I believe we have a lot to work with and to think of now. And we'll keep in touch. After this event, you will receive an email from Ava. You will receive also my email. And we will hopefully work together. So have a good afternoon. Bon appétit. And bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, and thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.